The men and women of the U.S. Army Chemical Corps are known as Dragon Soldiers. They protect our forces against threats that are chemical, biological, radiological, or nuclear, CBRN in nature. These weapons are in use on today's battlefields by forces hostile to America. Only Dragon Soldiers are equipped to go into the very heart of the threat, where a single unprotected breath or an inch of exposed skin can be fatal. Only Dragon Soldiers have the technology to identify the exact nature of the threat, to define its intensity and its boundaries, and to advise combat commanders on how and where they can fight most effectively. Crews of the M1135 Stryker variant conduct reconnaissance far afield. Their armament and armor equip them to operate at the front with our advancing forces and to provide early warning of CBRN threats. On foot, Dragon Soldiers conduct dismounted reconnaissance inside buildings, around destroyed structures, and in underground spaces. They capture samples, assess documents, laboratory equipment, and computers to obtain evidence of the manufacturing source and location. The Chemical Corps' ability to decontaminate personnel and equipment in large numbers is critical to control the spread of contamination. Equipped to fight dirty, combat troops and vehicles cannot leave the front without thorough removal of hazardous CBRN materials. Even wounded troops must be decontaminated to protect medical treatment facilities. Not all CBRN threats are on the battlefield. Terrorist attacks as well as industrial or transportation accidents can present threats and create damage to large numbers of civilians spread across cities or in rugged terrain. In large-scale and remote incidents, hazard response companies of the Chemical Corps assist civilian authorities with reconnaissance in even the most heavily contaminated areas, assessing the threat and taking samples for analysis. As on the battlefield, mounted reconnaissance can operate at long distances, while dismounted reconnaissance reaches into rough areas and confined spaces. Dragon Soldiers are trained and equipped to decontaminate civilians and first responders leaving the hot zone. They can move into an undeveloped site and in a matter of hours stand up a fully equipped decontamination line ready to process hundreds of civilians per hour and release them for medical treatment or other forms of assistance.
I am very confident in our soldiers' abilities, and we are trained and proficient at our duties and what we do. We've been preparing for this moment for months. We have done our research, we have trained, we have worked long, hard hours, and we will stop at nothing to make sure that the people of America are safe.